Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. I'm Emmanuel, I'm an airline pilot and a PMDG 777 tester. Welcome back to our second out of 3 sectors doing our Lufthansa cargo rotation from Frankfurt to Hong Kong to Istanbul and then back to Frankfurt. Today we're going to fly the second sector from Hong Kong to Istanbul, and we are going to be using the PMDG 777F together with the Boris sound pack. Now, the Boris sound pack really did not disappoint on the last one, so I'm really looking forward to seeing it in action today as well. Now, before we get into this, a quick message from today's sponsor, Say Intentions AI. If you're looking for an ATC add-on that's not just capable of your standard IFR A to B flight, but also other things like VFR, data link and more, then do check them out. We'll be using them in today's video for all the air traffic control and data link work, so if you like what you're about to see, then check them out. Use the link in the pinned comment or the video description below. And with that out of the way, let's get straight into this. So, our beautiful 777 freighter in the cargo human care livery is sitting on the apron here in Hong Kong. As we can see, quite a bit of work going on the cargo ramps over here, so I suppose we're just gonna get straight into this and board our 777. So yeah, GSX didn't fix those steps in the meantime, so just follow me inside. Our aircraft is currently operating on the APU, so we are nice and cool, air-conditioned over here. Now, follow me into the cockpit and we'll start setting our plane up for this flight from Hong Kong to Istanbul. Now, we are going to start with a couple of easy things here. First of all, we are going to reset that ADRU, so just turn it off, give it a couple of seconds, turn it back on again, and that is going to cause a quick realignment. In the meantime, let's head down into the EFB and re-import our flight. The plane is left in the turnaround state that we left it in last time, so everything we kept last time is going to stay like it for today's flight. But for now, let's actually get started with our flight plan, and you will see that it looks somewhat familiar in that the good portion of the flight is the same as it was on the way over, but today it's in daylight and it's really cool seeing all the terrain here going through the entirety of China, the Chinese desert, and then all the way over to Istanbul. So let's go ahead and have a look at the weather, because unfortunately we are flying right opposite to that jet stream over here, and you can see that number 2, which is moderate turbulence up to flight level 380. We'll be cruising pretty low today because we are departing right at the max takeoff weight, so with a bit of luck we'll be able to stay below most of the headwind from the jet stream, but we'll most definitely be flying right through that turbulence for several hours at a time, so ensuring that our cargo is properly secured is going to be very important today. Now, once we are leaving the turbulent area here over the middle of China, things are going to cool down a little bit, and then there is no more weather all the way until Istanbul. Perhaps a little bit of turbulence caused by this jet stream down here, but that shouldn't be too much of a problem. Alright, and that much for our significant weather. Now let's have a look into the airport weather. Our departure from Hong Kong is going to be fairly straightforward. The weather hasn't really changed much since we arrived. So winds 110 at 6, 25 degrees, and overall good weather. Istanbul, clear skies, winds today coming southwesterly. Tomorrow they're going to switch over to easterly, but I think runway 16 should be a pretty safe bet today. Temperatures for a lovely layover. Now, our first alternate is going to be, what's that, Bravo Juliet, is that Izmir? I do think so. In any case, they do have good weather conditions down there, so easy going. And our second alternate in Ankara also has excellent weather. Now, moving up the flight plan, an on-time departure at 23:25 is going to result in an arrival that's like 25 minutes ahead of schedule. As you can see, we're right up at the max takeoff weight, just some 600 kilos below it, so we've got to be a little bit careful when we determine our fuel requirements for the flight. Otherwise, if we do need more, then we'll have to leave some cargo behind 97.5 tons. That's really incredible. Okay, let's go ahead and have a look. Backhaul 1 X-ray is planned for us today of runway 07 right, starting in 8,400 meters, which equals flight level 276. Yes, it is just that low. And then later on climbing until flight level 340 for the flight, and that's it. Now going down to the fuel section here. 105.2 plus 500 is 105.7. Now the question, do we see need for any extra fuel? And honestly, I don't think so. The weather in all of Turkey is beautiful. So I suppose if we just round it up to 106 tons, then we'll still be below the max takeoff weight. And that'll be easy going. So import from SimBrief, precise loading, and down here we are looking for 106 tons of fuel for today's flight. Beautiful. Well, and with that out of the way, I suggest we'll request loading right down here in GSX. And with that underway, let's get going. So the ADRU is already on. Voice recorder is also coming on. We are going to run on the APU for the entirety of the procedures here. Now let's have a look into our aircraft. All quantity 24 either side is okay. Status page is okay. Let's go ahead and do the oxygen test here. Test it left, test it right, and test it aft. Alright, cool. So that is already looking good. Then let's do a recall of everything we got here. And, well, that's all expected messages. So that's easy going. Alright then, let's start with our FMS setup. As always, I'm using my WinWing MCDU. So if you don't see me typing anything, then you now know why. So, starting down here, look at that. The old crew even just left all the scratchpad stuff in there. Okay, so index ident 777-200 nav database is still up to date right here. Okay, so pos init GPS copy paste. Well, inertial and origin disagree. Let's get to that here. No, that's of course wrong. So Victor Triple Hotel, and now that is gonna look much better. So route select. Lufthansa Cargo 8463, Frankfurt to Istanbul, that's already looking correct. While the uplink is in progress, let's start by collecting some of our departure charts here. So we don't need you anymore, we don't need you anymore. Route load. So, search, departure. That is gonna be Hong Kong, but give it a moment. When you do a turnaround, sometimes this happens. Sometimes it just takes a little bit longer here. Alright, that's looking bad. So, Baikal 1 X-Ray is the SID that they have planned for us. Why is this switching over? Baikal 1 X-Ray, here we go. Alright, cool. Our route is here. Then let's go departure arrival 07 right, Baikal 1 X-Ray. And for the arrivals into Istanbul, runway 16 right is planned at the moment. So ILS Zulu approach. And we got the Nukba 1 Echo arrival, which we can select down here. And that one ends at Gasky, so let's select that as transition. Alright, activate and execute, and now let's go right down into checking the route. I'm not going to read them out for you, but just a quick check, making sure everything is good, and that's all looking good. Alright, so onto the Lex page, and then we can start selecting something over here. So, first of all, give me daylight charts, please. Alright. So, plan mode over here, let's see. Straight ahead to waypoint 301, then to Pawpaw, waypoint 341, maximum 210 knots. So 210/1000 above. Come on. Okay, and then 230 knots until waypoint 342. Like that, and then we continue via Ramen above 6000, and now I'm getting hungry. to waypoint 381, then we continue via 382 below 8,000 feet towards Agomu, and then Bekol at 157. And that's all looking correct, so we can execute this. Now, going back down to the map, we can go into route data and request our wind data. While we're on this, we can also request our descent forecast uplink. Distance 4,746 versus 4,743. That is good enough. Alright, so load that wind please. And execute, and also load that forecast please. So RadNav has nothing tuned, then we'll insert Hong Kong and a 25-mile ring in the fix info page. Let's check about the actual MSA here, because down here it's 4,100, up here 4,300, okay. Not too much of a difference, if we're completely honest. Alright, so VNAV page, transition altitude 9,000, and over here it's 9,000 as well. That's beautiful. Okay, 250 below 10,000, we'll easily do that. So let's go to the performance pages. So, zero fuel weight 242.1. And we still don't enter that. It's so strange. I'm so used to getting an uplink here. The moment I'm typing manually, I'm kind of going into 737 procedures where you would have to insert that. But that's not what we're doing today. So, alternate 5.9 and reserve 3.4. That is 9.3. So, 9.3 reserve. Flight level 276 will be the initial cruising altitude. Cost NX 30. Minimum fuel temperature minus 44 is correct. Cruise CG 30. And then noise abatement procedure number 2, acceleration in 1500. That's all correct. Alright, and that's our initial FMS setup completed. So let's leave it down like that and start with the flight deck setup. Up here everything's done, up here everything is done. Seatbelts can come on since the refueling is complete, 106 tons. We don't need the logo light anymore since it's daylight now. So flight director's on, we don't know the initial altitude yet, so I'm gonna insert 5.1. Okay, QNH 1017 still seems correct, then let's set our MFRA on the minimums, which is going to be 1050. And here we go. Auto brake RTO, and what are the brake temperatures doing? Let's see, gear. Yeah, they're cool. Nice. Okay, so park and brake is set. We'll leave the frequencies as they are for the time being. Transponder onto above, and everything down here is set. Up here is set. Beautiful. Okay, cool. So that's our flight deck setup completed. Then, what is our loading doing? Completed. And all the doors are closed. I love it. Okay, so let's get the latest weather. That's gonna be Victor Triple Hotel. From say intention sent. And then we can also prepare our IFR clearance. So departure clearance request. Don't know the ATIS yet. Facility will be Hong Kong. Our gate is X-ray 10. And it's gonna be a good morning. Here we go. So just waiting for the ATIS to return, and then we can send our clearance request. And while we're waiting for that, let's go to the checklists, reset all. Okay, lovely. So then, while all of that is still in progress, let's go ahead and start closing those doors. So, close all, please. And here we go. Hong Kong information, Sierra, runway 7 left and right, 09089, QNH 1017, that's good. So, info Sierra. So, Lufthansa Cargo 8463 from Hong Kong to Istanbul, ATIS Sierra X10, good morning, sent. Beautiful. we can cancel that Asus already. Alright then, in the meantime, let's do the departure briefing. Unless they change our SID, that is. So I tell you what we're gonna do. Okay, clearance request received, being processed, stand by. Yep, thank you. Let's already make sure that the doors are closed and armed, so that we're ready to go as soon as the ground is ready. Okay, so the hold is completely full, that stuff looks secured, which is especially important due to the turbulence. Then let's close this up, and one left armed, and one right is armed. Okay, good. So that sounds like an IFR clearance. And it is an IFR clearance, okay. So, cleared to Istanbul, Baykol 1 X-ray departure, runway 07 right. That is confirmed, maintain 4000, departure 19-1. So, 4000, 119.1. And the squawk 6526. Like that. Alright, good. Accept. And accept it. Wonderful. So we can exit this. Clearance is confirmed. Route copied. And then let's go into the performance, please. So, zero fuel weight 282.1. Well, 242.1. And that gives us a gross weight of 348.1, which checks. Okay, landing weight 257.2. What is that actually? What's the maximum? 260.8, okay. So just about within the limit. Alright, good, we can go with that. So performance, Hong Kong, runway 7 right. So, flight info, uplink, let's see. Interesting that this just kept the entire weather from Frankfurt. Let's just clear that. Alright, let's do that again. So, runway 7 right. Weight is gonna be 347,700. The CG was either 25 or 26. No, wrong page. 24, okay. So, CG 24. Then let's see, Hong Kong info Sierra 09089. The outside temperature is 25 and the QNH 1017. Alright, calculate. And here we go, acceleration at 1500, flaps 2 takeoff at full power. And obviously flaps 5 takeoff. Okay, so speed 71, 82, 84. Like that, is looking good. And VREF in case we need to return 182. Okay, so fairly fast. Alright, cool. So that's our departure calculated. Then let's go ahead with the takeoff briefing, please. And while we're waiting for that, the doors are all closed. Let's get GSX to prepare for pushback and departure, please. Okay, so we are going to depart Hong Kong, runway 07 right, Baykol 1 X-ray departure, initial climb 4000, MSA up to 4300 on our departure, and we've got nothing special. Well, we do have quite some special stuff, we'll talk about that in a few moments. Extra fuel and time is 0. So no hotspots for our taxi routing. We should not need to cross the runway, I hope, but we'll see what ATC has in store for us today. Now, for our departure, the stop margin for the rejected takeoff is just a few meters, and we are so overweight that if we stop in the high-speed region, immediately call for the firefighters, please, because they will absolutely be needed. Engine outset, we follow our standard instrument departure, except that once we're clear of the terrain, we're going to continue southbound, climbing 4000, and then we see what we are going to do. Basically, in any situation where we are not on fire and in need of an immediate return, we are just going to get the airplane into a holding. Consider fuel dumping, minimum altitude for that 6000, keep that in mind, rather 8000, so consider fuel dumping, and then we can come back as needed. 07 right is my preferred option for coming back, but any runway that ATC sees suitable is going to be suitable for us, since Hong Kong basically has long runways everywhere. Only if the aircraft is on fire, we are going to fly around the mountains over here, and then come back for an approach onto runway 07 right. Now, when that happens, be prepared to evacuate the aircraft after landing, because, well, it's just going to be incredibly hot breaks. Alright, and that's about everything I got for the time being, so if you don't have anything else, then that would be it with my threats as well. Specials, non-standards, nothing except that we are very heavy, which we are of course familiar with. Clean speed is going to be above 250, but we do have some speed restriction here, 210 and 230, so we'll just have to keep the flaps on 5 anyway. Alright, and that's it from my side. Any questions or suggestions? Nope. Okay. So, pre-flight checklist. Oxygen, test at 100%. Flight instruments, heading 164, altimeter 1017, reading 50, set left, set right, and pre-flight checklist complete. So, this time GSX didn't do anything wanky with the doors. That's already good. Then let's go ahead and prepare ourselves for our departure. Ground from flight deck. So, hello there. Please confirm that all the doors and hatches are closed, ground equipment is removed, and the bypass pin is installed. Now that's all confirmed, Captain. Alright, thank you very much, and we'll call you for pushback in a moment. So, can we pressurize? Yes, you can pressurize. Alright, all of that stuff comes on, then we're looking at 6.5 units trim, and the transponder is on already. Perfect. Before start checklist, please. MCP, V2184, heading 074, altitude 4000, takeoff speeds V1171, VR182, V2184, CDU pre-flight, completed, trim 6.5 units, 0 and 0. Okay, taxi and takeoff briefing completed. Before start checklist complete down to beacon. Let's request pushback. Hong Kong ground, Lufthansa cargo 8463 heavy, request pushback and startup. Yes, no, maybe.
Lufthansa cargo 8463, pushback and startup approved, face west.
Pushback and startup approved, facing west, Lufthansa cargo 8463.
Runway 7 right, taxi via whiskey 2.
So, ground flight
Hotel,
deck, push and start approved, face west, parking brake is still set. Roger, release brake please.
Shuttle 820, contact tower on 118.7.
Why did it reset itself?
Tower, Hong Kong Shuttle 820.
Do we really have to go through that? No. What is it doing with the doors? No GSX. You are... God damn it!
76, push and start approved.
That would have been a slide fired. What the hell is GSX doing to my airplane? Move those fucking chocks. I actually tell you what it... I think I have an idea what it did. Did it request any ground services? No. Okay. That's good. Doors. Is it closed now? Yes, it is. Okay. So remove that shit, please. Just remove it. Thanks. So, doors are closed and armed again. And the before start checklist was actually completed. Why did I request GSX services earlier? It's not like I wanted to be ready for push. Oh, and there they just come. God, that takes so much time! Alright, so just get your crappy services done, please, and then we'll hopefully be ready to go in a few moments. I really don't understand why PMDG had removed their own pushback functions. Okay, so the pin is in, the tow bar is getting connected now, so hopefully... Guys, don't do this on VATSIM, because the time between asking for pushback clearance and actually starting the push is just too long. You can take some 10 or 20 seconds, that's no problem, but this is... don't even know what to say, honestly. But we gotta admit one other thing, it just looks good, doesn't it? Especially that livery here, very nice job by Atari on painting it. And very nice job by Lufthansa for actually flying it. Alright, so, is it done now? Yeah, continue push. And that's gonna be nose to the right, so color blue. Alright, release parking brake, please. And the parking brakes should be released now. Let's see if that worked from the outside. Yes, it did. Nice. That nose wheel looks twitchy. Okay, I don't care. I just want to get that engine started, so let's get going. Didn't we say nose right? Oh, I'm fairly sure we did. Okay, starting engine 2. Oh, hello there. What are those guys doing? I suppose I don't want to know, I don't want to see, so we'll just go inside and pretend that we haven't seen anything. Or felt anything, for that matter. I wonder why they're not despawning when we're getting so close. I think they should do that. Alright, good start on the right engine, start on the left engine. Left engine starts. Okay, push completed, set brakes. Parking brake set. And we are facing west, that's okay now. So, fuel flow is coming. And we have ignition. Alright, looks good. So, ground flight, you're clear to disconnect. We've got 2 good engine starts. Show me the pin on the left. Have a good day. Bye-bye. Okay. So, APU off, anti-ice auto, flaps 5.
Roger, pushback through. Bohemia 676.
Cathay 334 ready to taxi. Cathay 334.
Okay,
runway
flight
7
control
right
track.
Taxi via Tango Juliet, Juliet 2.
Full up.
Runway 7 right taxi via Tango
Full
Juliet,
down.
Juliet 2 Cathay 334.
Neutral. Full left.
676 ready to taxi.
Full right. Neutral.
Runway 7 right taxi via
So,
Bravo 8,
for the
Bravo
rudder,
Victor
let's
Hotel,
see.
Hotel
There's a
6,
tuck,
Juliet,
there's a
Juliet
tow
2.
bar. So we just need the ramp agent.
Right
Oh,
taxi,
and
Bravo
she was
8,
run
Bravo
over by the
Victor
truck.
Hotel,
Okay,
Hotel
that's
6,
fine.
Juliet 2, Bohemia 676.
Full left.
Cafe 907, request push.
Full right. Neutral.
Cafe 907, push and start approved.
So, before taxi checklist, anti-ice, auto recall checked, flight controls checked, ground equipment clear, before taxi checklist completed.
Cafe 907, runway 7 right taxi via Whiskey 2, Whiskey Hotel, Hotel 6, Juliet, Juliet 2.
Runway 7 right taxi via Whiskey 2, Whiskey Hotel, Hotel 6, Juliet, Juliet 2, Cafe 907.
Lufthansa Cargo 8463 Heavy, request taxi.
Ground Cafe 974, taxi to the gate.
That really just feels like
Cafe
that's it.
974, taxi to parking via Juliet 6, Juliet, Hotel 6, Hotel, Hotel 7. Lufthansa Cargo 8463, runway 7 right taxi via Lima, Lima 1, Kilo, Kilo 1.
Lufthansa Cargo 8463, taxi to runway 07 right via Lima, Lima 1, Kilo, Kilo 1. Okay, so that should be a fairly easy one. Let's quickly get that taxi chart. If the thing doesn't hang itself up, that should be an easy one.
272, taxi to parking via Juliet 6,
So Lima,
Juliet,
Lima
Hotel
1, Kilo, and Kilo 1 is the full length. Alright, cool. Clear left side. No comment on the right side, except that that 747 is definitely beautiful. And that's a parking brake released. So, let's see how much power we need to get this thing moving. The last one moved all on its own. This one needs a little bit of convincing. But 28% and 1, taxiing nicely.
Cafe 907, contact tower on 118.7.
So, looks like tower is going to be an 18.7, and we've already got that. Left side is clear, right side, no comment. I wonder why everyone's parking in the grass. I mean, yes, I know that there was a 747 parking, well, technically not in the grass, but in the water recently here in Hong Kong, but you know, you should take an example from that. At least if you can somehow avoid it. Okay, the left side is clear and the right side is clear. Now, that Qatar is going to the same runway that we are. And I think I saw one aircraft at the holding point. And that's it. Okay. Well, in that case, let's go fast so that we're in front of the Qatar.
Runway 7 right taxi via Bravo 8, Bravo Victor Hotel.
Now to review the takeoff briefing, it's a left seat takeoff runway 07 right, flaps 5, noise abatement procedure 2 with a bucket 15. Takeoff speed 71, 82, 84, initial climb 4000. Right up there at the maximum takeoff weight, so she's not going to climb too well. A little bit careful on the rotation to make sure we don't tail strike it, and apart from that it should be easy. The weather is fine. If we need to make an immediate return, 07 right is available, but nonetheless we gotta fly it all the way around the mountain here. Okay, and speed is checked, correcting. Well, that's everything I got for the time being. Anything on your side? Nope. Alright. So, I think weather is not going to be too much of an issue. Nonetheless, I do want it on one side. Then you can have the terrain over there. The reason I want the weather radar selected for takeoff is because selecting the weather radar starts the predictive wind shear logic. Otherwise that one only starts at, I think, 100 knots or so. And, well, let's just say at 100 knots it is rather late to actually detect a wind shear during the takeoff run, so put one of those weather radars on, it really does help. Okay, before takeoff checklist. Before takeoff checklist complete. Now we're almost at the holding point already. Damn, the Qatar's going fast as well. They probably realized what I'm trying to do here. And then thought they can do that better.
Lufthansa Cargo 8463, contact tower on 118.7. Have a good morning.
118.7, Lufthansa Cargo 8463. Hong Kong Tower, Lufthansa Cargo 8463 Heavy, ready for departure. Come on, I don't want to stop in the turn.
Lufthansa Cargo 8463 Heavy, Hong Kong Tower, runway 07 right, wind 090 at 12, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 07 right, cleared for takeoff, Lufthansa Cargo 8463. Okay. That sounds good. Transponder on, lights on. Are you ready? Then so am I. Approach area is clear.
Cathay 662, hold short of runway 25 center.
Take off.
Hold short of 25 center, Cathay 662.
Stabilized. Set takeoff thrust.
Caution! On taxiway!
So,
On taxiway!
Absolutely not. Thrust set. Checked. Careful right now, and here we go. Fly. You're up.
Cathay 662, hold short of runway 25 center.
400.
Hold short of 25 center, Cathay 662.
Living in one of those buildings on there must be any aviation geek's dream. Though I'm not 100% sure if that goes for all the locals as well.
Lufthansa Cargo 8463, contact departure on 119.1.
119.1, Lufthansa Cargo 8463. Hong Kong departure, Lufthansa Cargo 8463 Heavy, passing 2,700, climbing 4,000. 1,000 to go. Checked.
Lufthansa Cargo 8463 Heavy, Hong Kong departure, radar contact, climb 4,000.
Maintain 4,000, Lufthansa Cargo 8463. Okay. Vertical speed. I was kind of hoping that she might give us a little climb here, but okay, then we maintain 4,000. Alt.
Lufthansa Cargo 8463, climb flight level 210.
Lufthansa Cargo 8463, climbing flight level 210. Set, 210 checked, and VNAV. Oh man, we are definitely keeping the flaps out for a while here. That waypoint over here is the 210 restriction, the next one has the 230. After that we can start accelerating and retracting some flaps. But even now, as we're passing the first waypoint, while we can accelerate a bit, we still got to keep the flaps in position 5, because otherwise we'd be flying in comms 1 below the 1 speed.
Departure Hainan 7769er 2000 for 4000.
Hainan 7769er, radar contact, climb and maintain 6000.
Oh man, yes, this is a heavy aircraft.
7769er.
And here we go, that's Hong Kong for you.
Sorry, 8423, radar contact, climb and maintain 11 1000.
Up to 11 1000. Sorry, 8423.
Cathay 9er
So, flaps 1.
contact Hong Kong radar on
Speed check.
133.825.
Flaps 1.
133.825 to Cathay 907.
Hainan 7769er, contact
So,
July
the
departure
bubble
on
pull will go up in a
127.995.
moment. Here we go.
For Hainan 7769er, good day.
Lufthansa Cargo 8463, request speed 260 knots. Because otherwise we'll have to do this.
Lufthansa cargo 8463 heavy, speed 260 knots approved.
Speed 260 approved, Lufthansa Cargo 8463 heavy. Okay, beautiful. Flaps up. Speed checked. Flaps up.
China Eastern 5332, contact Pudong Tower on 124.35.
124.35.
Alright, lovely.
China Eastern 5332.
Autopilot, that was a nice little hand flying exercise.
Lufthansa cargo 8463, cleared direct to Gomu.
Lufthansa Cargo 8463 proceeding down to Gumia. Huh, that's interesting.
Lufthansa cargo
Iduma.
8463, roger, proceeding direct to Gomu.
Actually, no, Agomu. That's it. Okay, so, and that puts us back in a VNAV climb as well. Lovely. Okay, cool. So, let's see what altitude we can make at Bakehall then, because if we can't make 157, we gotta advise ADC.
Lufthansa
The way we
cargo
do this?
8463, climb flight level 260.
Climb flight level 260, Lufthansa Cargo 8463. The way we do this is by just deleting the restriction, then checking what it says, and it says 183 over here versus 157 as restriction, so easy going. So then we could theoretically request proceeding direct to Bakehall. Let's see. If we put that thing on top and delete the constraint, what is it gonna say?
Lufthansa cargo 8463 heavy, speed 250 knots.
Ah, no. 159, yeah, we can go direct Bakehall. Lufthansa Cargo 8463 requests to proceed direct Bakehall. Okay, set standard. Standard, cross-check, passing level 102. Now.
Lufthansa cargo 8463, proceed direct, pay call approved.
Direct Bakehall approved, Lufthansa Cargo 8463.
Lufthansa cargo 8463,
So, Bakehall.
proceed direct, pay call approved.
Yeah, I don't know why you're repeating that, but here we go, direct to Bakehall. Alright, beautiful. So we're above 10,000, we're accelerating. Let's ask the important question, that is, are we on time? ETA 10:30. And I believe the schedule is 1100?
Lufthansa cargo
Yeah.
8463, contact Hong Kong departure on 123.8.
123.8, Lufthansa Cargo 8463. Hong Kong departure, Lufthansa cargo 8463, passing 107, climbing 260. Unable next altitude, or you will be able. I'll make you able.
Lufthansa cargo 8463 heavy, Hong Kong departure identified. Good morning.
Okay, so Victor Hotel Hotel Kilo will be our CPDLC. So lock on Victor Hotel Hotel Kilo.
China Southern 3171 contact,
And
two high
set.
departure on 127.905.
Okay, lovely. So with that, we are basically done with everything. So for the time being, just sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight with us. And then I see you all on the approach into Istanbul.
Lufthansa cargo 8463 heavy, Hong Kong departure.
Everyone, we are already on our approach into Istanbul. We are proceeding direct to Gaski for the ILS approach Zulu to Romeo 16 right. Now, unfortunately, at this moment there is a small server outage which led to say intentions being down, so we'll have to fly this without any ATC support for our arrival. But well, we've done that a couple times in the past already, and I don't see many problems with it. The weather into Istanbul is going to be good. As you can see over there, it's pretty much clear skies. Wind is 220 at 10, so very slight crosswind over here, and well, nothing special. Okay, so with that in mind, let's go ahead and actually start the approach briefing. So this is going to be more or less radar vectored arrival. Tell you what, it's actually going to be radar vectored because we can continue on our present heading into Istanbul, runway 16 right, ILS Zulu approach, minimum 490, and the go-around trajectory is off to the right-hand side, climbing to, let's see, 3000 down here. Okay, apart from that, extra fuel and time, we are arriving with 13.2 versus 9.3, so that basically gives us 40 minutes of extra fuel. The approach is going to be flight director guided, flaps 30, auto brakes 2, maximum reverse, vacate the runway to the left hand side, and I am somewhat hoping that we'll be able to make the either first or second exit over here. We are parking on cargo apron number 4, so that means vacating down here, first exit off, crossing 16 left, we basically end up directly at our stand. However, due to the current gross weight, I am not quite sure if we can actually make the first exit, so Alpha 5 Alpha is almost giving us the same distance to the parking gate while keeping the brakes considerably cooler, so that is what we are going to do today. Alright, then let's actually go ahead and remove those headphones. That sounds better, doesn't it? Cool. Yeah, hotspots for taxiing is going to be the crossing of runway 16 left, so unless we can visually verify that there is no traffic, we'll have to stop the airplane in front of that runway, but I don't really expect that to be a problem today. Okay, that's pretty much it. Do you have any questions or suggestions? No? Lovely. Let's go level change down to 6,000 for the time being, and then we can start working on our 10 checks. So lights on, signs on, and CPLC should already be disconnected, just to be sure though. Lockup status, data link off, confirm off. Okay. Excellent, and that's about everything we need here. So, terminated, thank you. Excellent, going through 10,000, let's extend that centerline please from that bar. And we'll use the intercept course here of 173, execute. Now let's see how high on profile we actually are. 1,700, okay. That will be very easy to catch up. So, give me some speed brakes please. And then we'll go all the way down to 3,000 please. Very nice. So, approach checklist please. Altimeters, QNH 1022. Approach checklist completed. I just absolutely love the 777 for these abilities. Speed brake is so incredibly effective. Such a nice airplane. So, a little bit of a calculation here. We need to lose 4,000 feet to get down to net bar, that's 12 miles, plus another 5 to lose our speed, 17 miles, and look at that, we're at 17 miles. So, that means we're pretty much right on the optimum profile. Excellent. Just gonna love the looks of this airplane. The 777 is such a magnificent airplane. I mean, just look at it. And a beautiful livery this is. So VNAV tells us that we're below the profile, but I can't be bothered about that. I'm doing my VNAV manually here. $12 miles to run to net bar, 6 miles to lose our altitude, plus 5, well 6 due to the wind to lose our speed, so we're actually on a very good profile right now for an idle descent all the way into the final. So, let's take over ourselves. Flat rector. And auto thrust off as well. Especially when flying long haul, you just gotta make use of any chance you have to do a little bit of hand flying, so here we go, 1,000 to go. Very good speed. We'll already start bleeding off some of that airspeed. Very heavy aircraft, so a couple of extra miles here will absolutely not hurt us. So let's see, the runway heading is 173, even though it's designated as a runway 16. They just have far too many parallel runways over there in Istanbul. So we are going to use an intercept heading of 200, and I think we can already make that turn. 200 degrees, approach armed, flaps 1. Speed checked. Flaps 1. Halt. And flaps 5. Speed checked. Lock. Runway heading set. Come on, auto thrust. Here we go, it's off again. So, glide slope alive. Just gotta love those super fast speeds of a heavy 777. And God, we are heavy today. 156 tons. That's what I call a landing weight. Okay, so glide slope is armed. The go-around altitude is going to be 3000 and is set already. Glide slope capture, go-around altitude 3000 set. Okay, established. 7 miles to run. And let's go gear down and flaps 50. Well, flaps 20 actually.
2500.
Terrain noted. Okay, flaps 30. Speed check, flaps 30. Set VRF plus 5. $153 knots. That feels very much like a 737. But here is a very clear reason why the 777 freighter is a Cap Delta airplane. Just in case you don't remember, the boundary between switching from a Category Charlie to a Category Delta aircraft is at 141 knots at the maximum landing weight. Aircraft like the 200ER and the 200LR are usually Cap Charlie, but the freighter and the 300ER most definitely Cap Delta. Okay, a landing checklist please. A landing checklist complete. So, just to be sure, all the lights are on. Well, we can actually turn that storm light off. Not that that's gonna make any difference here.
1000.
Checked.
Approaching 16 right.
Intentionally. So, the airport is located a little bit on that plateau over there. That means we are likely to get an optical illusion on the final as we're flying uphill. So just rely on those instruments. Down there we're just passing the VOR.
500. 400. Approaching minimum.
Checked.
300 to minimum.
Terrain. Disregard.
50. 40. 30. 20, 10,
Speed press up, thrust was normal. And we got 78%. So that's the first exit, the one that we said we couldn't make. And there comes the second one. And this one we absolutely can. Manual brakes. Alright, and with that, welcome to Istanbul.
1,500 meters remaining.
Okay, we are clear to cross runway 16 left. There shouldn't be any departures
Approaching
there.
runways.
Then let's already start with the after landing items. Okay, and the runway is vacated, so the lights are coming off as well. APU is starting. Beautiful. So, that was a lovely landing. A little bit far, but then again we did have the runway available, so I thought like, well, might as well impress the chicks. None of which we have on board, obviously, because we're a freighter, but hey, you get where I'm going with this. So, parking Kilo 53, which is the next one on the right-hand side. Let's see if we can... So, parking Kilo 53. No follow me needed, handling by Turkish. So, lights off, radar off, and our stand on the right-hand side. Look at that, we're still so heavy that we need some thrust to actually get the aircraft to not lose all its speed. Just for reference, we've landed at 156 tons, while our takeoff weight from Frankfurt to Hong Kong was just 244. The 777 is an incredible airplane. Right, so Marshall is inside. And stop. So, parking brake is set, APU running, and shut down. Left and right. Okay, so transponder goes on 2000 and standby. Alrighty, and with that, welcome to Istanbul. Now let's go ahead and disarm those slides. So one right is disarmed and one left is disarmed. So request unloading. And then we can run right back up over here and do the secure checklist, please. Or the shutdown checklist. Parking brake, set, shutdown checklist complete. Okay, so all those messages are indeed expected. Engine oil quantity is fine. The status page has nothing on there. 10 hours and 41. Isn't that like exactly the same flight time we took to get to Hong Kong? Impressive. Alright, and with that, welcome to Istanbul. Let's go ahead and give ourselves some ground services down here. So, chocks in position, ground power request, then we can release the parking brakes, put the ground power online and APU off. With 15 degrees outside, we're not really gonna need it for the turnaround. Well then, my friends, and that's everything I can offer you for today. Thank you very much for watching. As always, be sure to like, comment and subscribe, and if you really love what I'm doing on this channel, I would appreciate a small donation through the Buy Me Coffee link in the video description below. Thank you very much, and I'm looking forward to see you all again on our flight back home to Frankfurt very soon.